All right, so you all know that I've got a man crush on this guy. I've never quite done this with an athlete before where I just keep holding him to my bosom because, when he gets hurt, I worry for his safety because he ruins seasons for me if he's got a boo-boo.
I told the media relations staff that you simply needed to hear Aaron's
Did.
voice.
I need to make
That's
sure he
it.
was
Yes.
okay
Yes.
because, you last season was an apocalypse, okay, for me when he left the field. So Aaron Rodgers is with us now, and I've been wanting to talk to you forever about visiting the Dalai Lama because you seem like you are roaming the earth in search of adventures and challenges and interesting things, and I want to hear about your spiritual path, sir. Thank you for making time for us.
You got it, buddy. That was a blast. It was definitely something when you get the call and the opportunity, you don't pass it up. So for me to be able to head over to India and to see His Holiness at his palace was really special. And then on the back end of that, to do an awesome outreach mission with Starkey, a company that makes hearing aids and has a presence in 60 countries around the world where they're making a difference for people who have either never heard before or massive hearing loss, and given the opportunity to hear again, it's pretty special. So to kind of book in that trip with an amazing experience in Dharamsala with His Holiness, 90-minute private audience, and then to have that, that outreach in Zambia was pretty special. So, one of those once-in-a-lifetime trips that I was definitely looking forward to doing, and pretty excited about the opportunity.
Wait, Aaron, the Lama called you?
Did he personally?
Yeah, the Dalai. Yeah,
he called you personally.
Hello, Dalai.
He called you.
No, but Stu, you know what the beauty is right after we went there, not great cell service over in India, but there was a picture up on the Dalai Lama's Instagram right away of me and him wearing the Packers hat. So I didn't even realize that Dalai had a social presence. Pretty amazing.
Hold on. I need more information on all of this. How did it come to be, though? And seriously, you get a call because you've applied, right? Like, how did all of it come to be?
Well, it's a long story. The short version is that a Lama who grew up in the palace with His Holiness now lives in the States and has been kind of a liaison for some of his travel to the U.S., and a mutual friend of ours kind of hooked all of us up together. We started planning this trip months and months ago, and Starkey was great to be able to help us get there and get to Africa and do the outreach, and just made a big trip of it. But yeah, there's lamas all over the world, but there's only one Dalai Lama.
Aaron Rodgers, only one of him too. Aaron Rodgers with us on ESPN Radio.
Does the Dalai Lama look weird wearing a Packers hat? I can't picture that.
I mean, yeah, he probably looks weird.
I mean, I don't think he had any idea what the hell that was on his head, but he had a big smile on his face.
But did he know who you were? Does that become evident whether he knows who he's talking to?
I don't think so. I think he had no idea. But one of my favorite stories from the trip was, everybody wanted to, you're supposed to kind of bring a gift, right? So found out he likes chocolates, so some people brought some chocolates, and I wanted to bring him a game-worn jersey from the playoffs. It's kind of meaningful. Got the C on there with the stars, and so I, gave him the hat and a ball and the jersey. Well, his translators didn't quite understand the nature of the gift, and they were wondering why there's a little bit of dirt on that jersey. His Holiness, a used, worn-out jersey. So we tried to let them know, through our translators that was, actually a special thing and not just an old dirty one we found in the back of the locker room somewhere.
You should have went with a cheese head. Imagine the visual, just for the visual
that's
alone.
Even better. That's even better. You're right.
Aaron,
Next time.
what do you talk to the Dalai Lama about? What is that 90 minutes like? Is it very spiritual or?
Well, the Dalai Lama, His Holiness, has a global message of compassion and kindness, and he talked a lot about that. And he's extremely charismatic and engaging, and he's over 80, and he's still able to capture a room. There were some questions that we definitely got to, but a lot of it was just hearing his heart for the world and for how he sees things, how we can make a difference in the world by being better people and being kind to each other and trying to find ways to connect, through cross-cultural boundaries and race. And it was pretty special. On the trip, we brought with us, the Lama that lives in the States, and he answered a lot of questions. We were on flights for like 50 hours, so we had a lot of time to talk about, His Holiness's upbringing and how they had to flee in the late 50s and some tenets of the Buddhist faith and how it applies to everyday living. So those are great conversations. But hearing from His Holiness and reading his books, it was a lot of the same stuff. Just a really heartfelt message about how he sees the world coming together and improving.
But what are you looking for when you're ending up going from there to Shark Week? Like what is it? Where?
Because Dan was very concerned about you with Shark Week.
So concerned. Like Aaron,
Packers,
you not
I'd
understand that arm. Like you don't want to put that thing around sharks. I understand they can handle bears, but not sharks.
I figured I already had total consciousness after meeting with the Dalai. So what else could come to me?
What are you doing?
That's what the Lama
What
does
are you
to
doing?
man.
Is McCarthy slapping you in the back of the helmet? Like, don't put your hand around sharks. We kind of need it.
Look, we talked before. There was a shark expert who was there. He gave me the whole rundown. There's 3 types of sharks could be in the water. There's makos, which if it's bigger than you get out of the water. There's whites. If there's whites, you just keep your eyes on the whole time. And if there's a blue shark, they're very curious sharks. It may come up to you. And if it comes up to you, you got a Mr. Miyagi. It wax on, wax off. So all I was thinking in the back of my head as I was trying to back up a little bit was wax on, wax off. And, it was more towards my right side. So I just kind of waxed them off to the right.
All right, it's stupid, and stop doing it.
Right.
It was fun, though.